Hello, cloud experts. So, in this session, we are going to talk about AWS service categories and some of the AWS services what we are going to cover in this particular course. My name is Sanjay Kumar and I am a cloud trainer and consultant. Now, what are the different whenever we in the last session we have talked about how you can log in into AWS console, and once you log in into AWS console, when you click on services you see various service categories like compute, storage, security, identity and compliance, IoT, end user computing, business applications, analytics, and so on. You can categorize these services under groups, or you can simply list them from A to Z. And it also shows you the recent services what you have used in your AWS account. Now, what are the different, these are the various service categories we have. However, we are not going to talk about all these AWS services in this course, and typically it is not possible for anybody to know or become an expert in all these services. So what are the services we are going to discuss in this particular course is compute. So we'll talk about some of the compute services. We are also going to talk about some of the storage services. We are going to talk about AWS security, identity and compliance services. We are going to talk about some of the database services as well as some networking and content delivery services. So these are the 5 different categories what we are going to cover in this particular course. Now, service of covered in the course, we are going to talk about compute, storage, databases, security, identity and compliance, and networking and content delivery. So let us understand what are the different services in these categories, and out of that, what are the major services we are going to use. Now, when I talk about security, identity and compliance, the first one is IAM, identity and access management, guard duty, inspector, and WAF and shield, where WAF is known as web application firewall. And in this particular section we are going to talk about only IAM as a service. We are not going to talk about all these services in detail, but yes, we will briefly talk about those other services. In case of compute, we have EC2, which is Elastic Compute Cloud, Elastic Beanstalk, Lambda, and Lightsail. However, in this section, we are going to talk about only EC2 service. We are not going to talk about all these other services in detail. In case of storage, we have S3, which is Simple Storage Service, EBS, Elastic Block Storage, EFS, which is Elastic File Storage, and S3 Glacier. However, what we are going to discuss mainly here is S3, which is Simple Storage Services, and briefly, we are also going to talk about S3 Glacier, which is typically a file archive system. Now, in case of databases, we have RDS, which is the Relational Database Services, DynamoDB, which is Non-Relational Database Services, Redshift, which is Data Warehouse, and Elasticache, which is typically the caching services. However, in this, we are going to talk about RDS, Relational Database Services. In case of networking and content delivery, we have VPC, which is Virtual Private Cloud, Route 53, which is typically the DNS service, CloudFront, which is typically, so Route 53 is the DNS service of AWS, CloudFront is the CDN service of AWS, which is also called as Content Delivery Network, and Direct Connect, which connects the remote data centers to the AWS cloud. However, in this case, we are going to talk about VPC service, which is Virtual Private Cloud, and Route 53 services. So these are the services which we are going to discuss in this particular course. That's all in this section. Look forward to see you in the next session.